The humble bee, on a constant forage for the sweetest nectar she can find. Did you know that these tiny insects can travel more than half a mile from their hive while looking for food? No GPS required. How can this be, you may ask? The answer is that bees are equipped with their very own sun compass.
Even more amazing, worker bees can tell each other where resources are with their famous waggle dance. The direction of the waggle dance indicates the direction of the food. To understand how a bee orients herself and her dance, we need to understand sunlight.
The sun emits light waves at various frequencies, and these spread out in all different directions. But even though humans can see some of these light waves, we don't see the sky as a rainbow. This is because the Earth's atmosphere is like a pair of sunglasses. It polarizes light. Polarizing occurs through scattering, a process that occurs when light rays interact with particles in the atmosphere.
Scattering is like putting up various angled doors. Only the light rays oriented at the exact angle of those doors can pass through. Other light rays are blocked. The way that certain light rays pass through certain areas paints a picture of where the sun is. Shorter wavelengths get more scattered and create a clearer picture. Bees can see this clear picture because they see the short wavelengths of UV light.
So why do bees have this cool vision? While humans see light in terms of RGB because our eyes have pigment molecules that are receptive to these wavelengths. Bees see light in terms of GBUV because their eyes contain pigments with peak sensitivities to green, blue, and ultraviolet wavelengths. Not only can bees see UV light, more importantly, they can detect the pattern of the rays. It's the structure of their eye that makes all the difference. Unlike humans, bees have compound eyes.
A human eye is like a camera, but a bee's eye looks more like a diamond. The bee's eye has 3 areas, known as ommatidium. Each ommatidium has 9 photoreceptors, 3 of which perceive UV. Their photoreceptors are long and twisty. Physiologist and zoologist Rudiger Werner found one way that these photoreceptors orient the bees.
One photoreceptor in each UV pair is smaller than the other 2, and therefore more sensitive to polarized UV rays. Bees see the sun's patterns by comparing the response of the shorter receptor to the response of the longer ones. Werner found another type of ommatidium. In these, the UV photoreceptors are straight and uniform. This means they all respond equally and strongly to polarized UV light. Werner called these collections of ommatidia POL areas. Importantly, these ommatidia are oriented straight up at the sky.
Each ommatidia in the POL area responds most strongly to a unique angle of light. The pattern of these uniquely strong responses, amazingly, closely approximates the pattern of rays created by sunlight streaming through the Earth's atmosphere. So to figure out where the sun is, the bee just needs to use her eye. Turn herself around until her eye's POL area responds most strongly, and she will be pointed toward the sun.
Artists are fascinated by using UV light in their work because it provides a different way of seeing the world. Special filters and cameras can capture UV light and let us know what it's like to see like a bee. In fact, many flowers have evolved to benefit from bees' unique vision. They reflect UV rays on the part of their petals that is nearest to the nectar, so bees know right where to go.
UV photography is not just an artistic endeavor for us RGB-seeing humans. It is used by dermatologists to detect sun damage and by criminal investigators to collect evidence. Wildlife researchers even use UV photography to find polar bears against the snow. A polar bear's fur looks white to us. That's because we can't see the full spectrum of light that his skin reflects. UV cameras can. So scientists wishing to locate or count polar bears can use UV film cameras to distinguish a white polar bear against the snow.
You may be saying to yourself, cool, bees are a lot more psychedelic than I thought they were. And they can never get lost, even if they can't see the sun, because all they need is the light from the sun. And you'd be right. Bees orient themselves in the world around them according to their relation to the sun and the sky. As great as this sounds, as clever as evolution was, a bee's sun compass may turn out to be a disadvantage in these modern times.
Have you heard of colony collapse disorder? CCD is a phenomenon in which worker bees from a bee colony suddenly disappear and is currently being observed worldwide. While researchers have yet to find the cause for the abrupt and major decline in bee populations, they have some ideas. Since the sun constantly moves through the sky, bees' use of their sun compass requires a biological clock. In order to head a particular direction, the bee must not only know where the sun is, but what time of day it is.
And while orientation with the sun is a process that occurs solely within the bee's compound eyes, the central biological clock is located within the bee's brain. Moreover, it is made up of groups of clock cells. Circadian rhythms are generated by complex interactions between clock genes that accumulate in the cells.
Electromagnetic fields from telecommunications infrastructures such as cell phone towers could be messing up these clock genes and their functions. Bees are therefore unable to compensate properly for the sun's movements and may fly in the wrong direction when attempting to return to the hive, disappearing forever.
This is a problem, because without bees and their superpollination powers, the world as we know it cannot continue to exist.